Whether or not the Xbox is successful or not has been the source of some debate for a little while now, and clearly there's going to be like a certain group of people that don't think the Xbox is successful, but there's also like a certain group of Xbox fans that, you know, while they think that Xbox needs to do all this crazy stuff and not have exclusives to be successful, they honestly don't have to do that, though. You know, that's the thing that I would kind of point out, that Microsoft, as big as a company as they are, they don't need to get rid of everything in order to be a successful gaming company. For instance, Nintendo, much smaller corporation, very successful, makes money, having exclusives. Sony as well, you know, they have the console exclusives and things like that. It looks like the PS5 Pro is off to a very solid start, but PlayStation is the #1 gaming company in the world, and yet they have exclusives. So I always kind of call that out and point that out to people when they bring up that, you know, Microsoft has to change because they need to make this and this and this. It's like, listen, if they did the things that, you know, they originally did with like the Xbox 360 and had the Xbox in such a way that could actually sell more consoles, they could make more money through subscriptions, they could make more money through game sales, they could make more money through microtransactions. But I want to get into this because I felt like this was an interesting point of fact that was well worth talking about. What's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. You know, I do daily gaming content. I have a lot of fun with it and things like that. So make sure you guys subscribe and check out the videos that I do and things like that. It's super important to help the channel, and just very much appreciated in general. So, you know, Phil Spencer's been making the rounds, kind of talking about Xbox and things like that. And of course, a lot of people are realistically going to be running with a lot of the stuff that's kind of going on from Phil Spencer. So, you know, I like the fact that you know, some of this is kind of open and honest and things like that. To be clear, you know, I feel like you know, Microsoft has some things right, and I've mentioned this before. I'll always call them out on things that you know, that I feel is wrong. You know, I honestly do think that it's just one of those things that is going to continue to happen time and time again. But anyway, this was nice to hear as well, because, you know, at the end of the day, Xbox is going to be out there, and they should be able to compete in a way that makes gaming better for everybody, right? And when there's competition, we get better games, better pricing, better everything, really. So, you know, that's the part that I kind of like to hear at the end of the day. But anyway, a lot of people wonder if Xbox is successful, you know, if it makes money, if it things like that. Like, to me, if Xbox is successful as it is, then there's no need to go out there and put, you know, all the exclusives on everything. So Phil Spencer was kind of talking about, you know, Xbox's success, and, you know, I thought it was a very kind of interesting talk, especially given with everything that's going around, because a lot of people, you know, they give Phil Spencer like a free pass with everything, but it's like, he's the guy, right? Like him, don't like him, he's the guy. He's the one that, you know, chooses to buy Minecraft. He chose to buy Bethesda. He chose to buy, you know, Activision. You know, he's the one that decided to put the Xbox games on PC and PlayStation and things like that. So I never really understood people that tried to pass the buck on the guy. You know, I've kind of had a contentious sort of situation with him myself for many years. You know, you feel like he tries to be this too good of a guy or whatever, you know, and, you know, at the end of the day, you realize that, you know, he's just a business guy like everybody else and doesn't care about you just like every other business. But speaking specifically on whether or not the Xbox is successful, it's very interesting. So it's been a weird year for Xbox. Plenty of successes and hopefully more to come with like Stalker 2 and Indiana Jones on the way. But there's a lot of negative kind of mixed into the thing as well. We've obviously seen jobs that have been lost, studios have been closed, and a very controversial reaction to the idea of putting Xbox's first-party titles on PlayStation and Nintendo platforms. And yet, apparently, Xbox is healthy and maybe healthier than ever. This is what head of Xbox said to Bloomberg in an interview, where he advised that the business is performing and it should be result in an exciting future for both hardware and first-party software. He said, quote, "The Xbox business has never been more healthy." However, he also warned of the need to remain creative and adaptive in order to achieve continued success. He pointed to the idea of a console as being something that Xbox needs to, an expensive console as being something that Xbox needs to avoid if the company wants to reach new players. Again, ultimately, Spencer feels optimistic about the industry, including the growth of mobile games, and believes that Xbox needs to remain open-minded to things like new business models, devices, and ways of access. So even though it's been a turbulent year on paper for Xbox, the business side of things suggests that Xbox has actually never been more successful, which means they're ready for a strong 2025. But again, I would kind of point this out and go, well, it's easy to go, hey, Xbox is successful or what have you, never been more successful, but you have to take into consideration that they bought, Activision, and a lot of the successes that they see are actually in a situation from Activision. Like Activision is the ones that are kind of doing the things that realistically drive people to get that type of thing. You know what I mean? Like Activision is definitely the company that is helping Microsoft kind of stay afloat with all these different ideas and things like that. That's the thing that they're going to have to continue to work on. Like I've said earlier, I feel like if Xbox is, in this situation where they are, doing so well, I do really, really hope that they decide to keep some exclusives, and that they decide to kind of keep gamers somewhat happy. Like I would love to see how fans react to like the exclusive content and things like that. So hopefully that's something that we can see from the future. Like I said, if they are in fact in a situation where there's a success that they claim, I don't understand why they wouldn't. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, here's hoping that things kind of work out for the best for Xbox and Xbox fans. Let's hope so. Anyway, I would honestly just love to see Microsoft be in a spot where where people can go out there and be able to just enjoy Xbox for a change. It really doesn't feel like they've had much of a chance lately. It's like every time they get a little bit of momentum, it almost feels like they get kind of lost in the shuffle, or they do something to kind of to screw themselves over a little bit. So that's sort of a weird situation for me to see as a fan. When all this kind of stuff happens, it really kind of just gets me upset, because Microsoft had such a great opportunity this generation to go out there and do something special, and the fact that they didn't really just kind of goes to show that maybe they have some poor leadership along the way. I'm hopeful that some things can change at some point, but I'm not exactly convinced that that's going to happen. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about what Xbox is doing right now? Is this something that you guys are excited about? Are you guys happy that Microsoft is doing these things? I couldn't imagine that people are thrilled with Xbox with doing the games on everything and kind of not having a red line and stuff like that. I think if they could get that under control and get people like some exclusives and things, I feel like we'd all be just in a much better situation, and it'd be nicer to kind of just sit back and relax and be able to enjoy being fans. And that's exactly what the hope is. So maybe you guys have something different to think, but it is nice to see that Xbox is healthy. That should breed competition, as long as Microsoft tries there to be competition. It's like, it's weird to me that they aren't actively trying to compete with with PlayStation. So I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm excited to see where the future goes. It's either going to be spectacular, or it's going to completely fail and flop hard. Which one do you see happening? Sound off, let me know. Rack them up, fact them up, Crap Gamer them up. We'll catch you next time. Crap Gamer out.